My name is Gia. I've been married to Josh for 3 years now. Even though we haven't had kids yet, we are happily sailing through our married life together. His family has a large number of close relatives, and they all get together over Christmas. I get roped in to entertain these guests. Josh being the eldest son, and I, as his wife, I'm supposed to assist his mother in preparations. It wouldn't be so bad if it were just that. The toughest part for me isn't Christmas, it's Thanksgiving. During the 4-day weekend, all the relatives gather at once and feast together. I have dreaded this holiday ever since I got married. It's not that I dislike having holiday parties. In fact, I enjoy them a lot. I don't mind cooking or making various preparations when relatives come over. It's the blatant mother-in-law's bullying that I can't stand. Right from the start, she viewed me as the woman who stole her precious son, an enemy. She's got this perception. When we went to visit her the day after our wedding, she straight up said to my face, "I don't acknowledge you as my family. Mark my words." Even I, someone who has thick skin, was stunned to say the least. I thought, wow, is she seriously that jealous of me? Since I understood I wasn't her cup of tea, I resolved to be as unobtrusive as possible. However, I remain an enemy no matter what I do to comply, and she's never pleased with me. When I follow her instructions in cooking, it's tasteless. If you can't even cook, you don't deserve to be the wife of my son. When I hang the laundry, you are doing it all wrong. Redo everything. When I clean the room, there's still dust over there. What are you, blind? Just like that, she criticizes every move I make. When I talk to Josh about it, he says, "Yeah, she's going a bit too far. Let me speak to her." He asked her to tone down her remarks about me, to which she weeps crocodile tears, saying, "I just want her to be a good wife." She tried to get his sympathy. I'm like, who would fall for fake tears like that? To my shock, Josh starts comforting her. "Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just want you guys to get along, you know." He nearly tears up himself. It's so pathetic that it makes me want to cry. When something like this happens, he calms up around her for a while. He even tells me, "Mom cares about you and is looking after you. Can't you meet her halfway?" It reaches a point where I can't take it anymore. I'm doing my absolute best, you know, but it seems no matter what I do, she isn't happy. So what can I do? I end up snapping at him, although it's not entirely his fault. He's been acting all nervous lately, trying to make things between Yolanda and me. That's been irritating me for some reason. When I raise my voice, he seems lost and just mutters, "Sorry." That's all he says. If he's sorry, he should do something about his mom. But it seems whenever she cries, he can't help but feel terrible. I get that he is kind, but he should have my back at all times. That's how I have been feeling all along. As my bad relationship with Yolanda continues, Thanksgiving arrives again. As usual, we were summoned to her place, and I'm getting ready with food and drinks for the impending crowd of relatives. Josh tries to help, but Yolanda holds him back, engaging him in a constant conversation to keep him from assisting me. Despite his troubled look, he can't ignore her and ends up chatting with her. After a while, The relatives start showing up one after another. I know most of their names, but there are a few unfamiliar faces. I signal Josh over and ask, "Who are they?"
That's Mom's younger brother's family. Uncle Nick and Aunt Erin, and that's my cousin.
It's my first time meeting them, so I introduce myself and start a brief chat. Uncle Nick is so friendly that I can't believe he's Yolanda's brother. Aunt Erin is a genuinely lovely person, and their daughter, who is a year younger than me, has this carefree vibe. "Oh, you're Gia, the wife of Josh, right? So happy to finally meet you." Alana, Josh's cousin, almost jumps on me to give me a big hug. There isn't anyone my age in the usual crowd, so meeting her is exciting for me. When Yolanda sees me cheerfully chatting with Alana, she walks over and whispers, "What all this chit-chat? Get back to your work." She hisses into my ear in a low voice. She's wearing a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. She detests seeing me having fun with the relatives. To avoid upsetting her father, I quickly go back to the kitchen. A few minutes later, Alana comes in as I'm frantically preparing alone. "Hey girl, what you doing? Let me help you." "Oh really? Thanks." I ask her to serve food onto plates, and at that moment, Yolanda must sense something and come into the kitchen. She shoots me a nasty look, then immediately switches to a smile and turns toward Alana. "Don't worry, Alana. This is something Gia said she wants to do. Hey, could you pour drinks for everyone instead?" Alana gives me a worried look, but dealing with Yolanda's mood swing is more of a hassle, so I say, "Yeah, I'm good here. So can you handle that for me?" Then she follows Yolanda out of the kitchen. Yolanda comes right back, looking like a devil. "Don't make others do your work, you useless thing. Next time you pull something like this, I won't let you get away with it easily." I simply apologize and continue with preparations in silence. Alana checks on me occasionally, but thinking it will be a hassle if Yolanda catches me again, I force a smile and tell her everything is okay. After a while, the food is finally ready, and I start serving the relatives seated around the big table. Yolanda doesn't lift a finger to help, and when Alana and Aunt Erin try to assist, she said, "She wants to do it herself, so let her. Just watch over her." She comes up with a convenient lie and is adamantly unwilling to let me receive any help. I feel Alana's concerned glances, but I pretend not to notice and continue serving the food. Of course, Josh doesn't even try to intervene, being afraid to upsetting his mom, and quietly sits in his seat. Will this keep happening forever? I suddenly feel everything turning bleak. After finishing serving all the dishes, I take a break alone in the kitchen, snacking on leftovers and lounging on a chair. I hear Yolanda's loud laughter coming from where everyone's gathered. She keeps going on for so long that curiosity takes over me, and I take a peek. Once I listen in on their conversation, I realize that what she's saying is beyond appalling. "Well, you know, Gia is really useless. No matter how many times I tell her, she just can't get the chores right. I don't know if she will ever get it. It's ridiculous, you know." She cracks up after saying that. It turns out, the laughter I've been hearing is just her bad-mouthing me. I know she dislikes me, but I never imagined she'd make fun of me in front of relatives. Her voice is loud, so I'm pretty sure the entire room is aware of my faults now. I glance at Josh, who is awkwardly smiling and not saying a word despite being in a position to fight for me. Why is he smiling? I can't help blurting out. The person who should have my back is just sitting there, laughing awkwardly without a protest. I'm incredibly frustrated and feeling pathetic. Yolanda keeps spouting one bad thing after another about me. She can't even hang the laundry right, so I always have to redo it. Cleaning either. There are always some dirty spots left. In the end, it's double the work for me. See, the food is kinda meh, isn't it? She doesn't make an effort. Even though the relatives don't seem genuinely amused by the stories she is sharing, they're going along with the mood. They laugh and nod in agreement.
I feel for you.
They sip drinks while listening to her bad-mouthing me. I can't do this anymore. I feel all the anger I've been holding back surging up, realizing I can't take it anymore. As I step inside the room to say I'm leaving, a spoon suddenly flies toward Yolanda with tremendous force. Oh my God! She barely dodges it, but it flies right past her head at incredible speed. She can't seem to grasp the situation, and everyone else freezes too. I'm also confused as to who threw the spoon. Then, someone speaks up. You have been spouting nonsense all this time. Who are you to speak like that? I turn towards the voice. Alana. She still hasn't noticed me standing by the door. She glares at Yolanda and says, Do you even realize how much burden you're putting on Gia? Making dishes for this many people all by herself is insane. You don't even let me help her and say she wants to do it alone. I knew something was off from the start. Yolanda is clearly panicking and blurts out, It's true. She always does things on her own. Alana finally notices me in the room and asks, Is that true, Gia? Well, even though I was seething with anger moments ago, I can't find the right words to say in front of everyone. Seeing me struggle, she encourages me. It's okay, Gia. Tell us the truth. I try hard to hold back my tears as I look straight at her. I never said such things. Yolanda always nitpicks everything I do and verbally abuses me. Hearing that, she stands up, fuming. Don't you dare lie! You're basically a useless woman who can't do any housework in the first place. Alana grabs a wine glass and throws a drink at her face this time. What the? Drenched in wine, she doesn't immediately grasp what has happened. She's completely stunned and frozen in time. Alana opens her mouth again and says firmly, Seriously, get real. Can you even handle preparing all the food for everyone by yourself? Can you even cook dishes this good? Despite Yolanda constantly picking on me, she isn't particularly skilled in household chores herself. If she claims she can, Alana might immediately retort with, Then do it now. She must sense it too, so she keeps her mouth shut. Then Alana looks around and says to everyone, And you people, just fake smiling and listening. Shame on you. You're all a disgrace as human beings. Having rotten people like this as relatives is embarrassing. Even if they didn't truly agree with Yolanda, they were indeed going along with her. Everyone is quiet and looking down, seemingly feeling guilty. Alana looks around the table and says, You all are supposed to be mature adults, but you can't even say sorry. How pathetic! She lets out an exaggerated sigh and starts walking straight toward Josh. She then grabs a wine bottle nearby, and pours it upside down over his head. Looking confused, he's at a loss for words. How about that? Feeling refreshed now? Just so you know, you're the worst. Despite your wife always going through this, how can you just sit there like it doesn't concern you? Are you a statue or something? Should I toss you out like bulky garbage? Scolded by his younger cousin, he's thrown off balance.
Well, I've tried telling my mom a few times.
He tries to justify himself. If nothing changed in the end, it's pointless, isn't it? You can't even understand something as basic as that? You're failing as a husband. I feel so bad for Gia. She's way too good for Aunt Yolanda and you. She brings her hammer down on his head. Suddenly, he stands up and walks toward me. He then immediately starts apologizing.
I'm really sorry, honey.
Stunned by his unexpected action, all I managed to say is, It's okay, don't worry. Alana comes over to me and grabs my arm. Come on, Gia, let's go grab something good to eat. So she takes me in her car to an Italian restaurant she likes. We talk about a lot of things, and I feel completely refreshed. Afterward, Yolanda and Josh apologized to me, and Alana gave them a stern scolding to ensure it wouldn't happen again. After the embarrassment in front of our relatives, I bet Yolanda won't pick on me anymore. Josh promised he wouldn't overlook it again, so this time, I will let it slide. If something like that even happens again in the future, well then, because of the incident, Alana and I are close friends now. We vent on each other and enjoy going out and shopping together. I'm truly grateful to her. My current position and environment is all thanks to her, you know. Since that incident, Yolanda stopped giving me a hard time, and even started helping with cooking. I've reduced my visit to her place and kept a balanced relationship. I hope we can maintain this moderate distance and continue our good relationship for a long time.